YouTubers and City Files, welcome back to another edition of Nerd Me Reviews. John Ricky here, and welcome to part 2 of the Terminator series review. Now, there's been 3 more since Terminator 2. How do I feel about these 3? Well... God
damn you all to hell!
Christ, I'm getting all emotional from it, huh?
I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to.
Who that piece of biscuit remind you of?
You see what happens, Larry, when you fuck a stranger in the ass?
No! No!
I offered you a chance to be a cop, and you blew it!
This is bad? This is bad?
You went full retard, man.
I'll tell you this, man. As a big fan of the first 2, I was feverishly waiting for a new installment into it. I wanted to see the actual war that they keep alluding to with the first 2. And 12 years passed before we get a new installment into the series with 2003's Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines. Arnold returns again as the Terminator, a different model of Terminator, and maybe has a little bit of a harder edge. Well, a harder edge than he did in the original one. And this one definitely centers completely again on John Connor, who is now played by the movie Bully standout, Nick Stahl. Because I believe there was something to do with Edward Furlong. Like, he was just having so many personal issues that he couldn't do it. And also the amazingly talented Claire Danes rounds out the main cast of this installment. And it's directed by John Mostow, who made big splash, at least in my eyes, with a movie that he did a few years before with Kurt Russell called Breakdown. Hell of a taut thriller. This one, the premise is basically John Connor's been living off the grid, mother has died. It's present day, and Judgment Day has not happened. You know, it's supposed to happen in 1997, here it is, 2003, everyone's still here. But of course, another Terminator comes back through time, and now it is a female Terminator called the TX, played by Kristanna Loken. But there are a few differences with why she came back. She's attacking random people, or so it seems. And you know what? To be honest, I mean, at first, when I'm like, okay, why are we bringing Arnold back with this one? I mean, do you really need to? I mean, is he the only model for the Terminator, so on and so forth? Because it's like, we could have put somebody else, but it is Arnold. Anyway, the story in here is intriguing enough, but it just feels like it's missing something. I mean, there's a lot of potential with a lot of the storylines that they put in this adaptation, but it just felt like it's kind of just throwing everything at the wall and seeing if something should stick. Plus, on top of that, there's a tonal shift that just feels so out of left field for it. Like, there's a lot more humor in it, and it's just like, wait, why? What are you doing? It didn't feel natural. It felt shoehorned in. But I'll tell you this, the pace of the movie, it really works. It almost feels like it's a little bit too frenetic, or just goes over too fast. You know, it's just like, oh, okay, we got to get to here, and it's like, oh, we're done. But I will say that the ending, you're just like, oh, I did not expect them to do that, but it makes sense that they did that. Plus, for the time, I mean, 2003, the CG looked amazing. And it damn well better since the movie cost like $170 million. But, I mean, out of all that, really the storyline, everything that happens in there, and the end, it just feels like it's just surface dressing and just a little connector bridge to what happens next, like what's supposed to happen. And in the significance of the whole series, it really is just a moot point. Whoop-de-doo, yay, let's move on to the next one.
Where'd you go? Hey, come on! Hey, where'd you go? Oh, hey, come on! You gotta work with me here. I'm just trying to cut a deal. What do you want me to do? Where are you?
On that note, Terminator 3: Rise of the Machines gets a...
You're killing me, Smalls.
Next up is Terminator Salvation, starring Oscar winner Christian Bale, Bryce Dallas Howard, Anton Yelchin as Kyle Reese, and Sam Worthington, fresh off his major hit of Avatar with none other than James Cameron. And this time it's directed by Mech G, the man that brought us Charlie's Angels, We Are Marshall, and yeah. Now this is the one I was looking for from Terminator Rise of the Machines that should have been in its place. It's like, we're going to see the war, it's going to be good, it's going to be exciting. And then
$6 and my right nut says we're not landing in Chicago.
Dude, I didn't think a post-apocalyptic movie could be more boring than this. I mean, there was no excitement there. I was checking my watch while I was in the theater watching this film. It's really,
I'm sorry, I need this back. And here's a calendar for you.
Sam Worthington, this was in his height, and it's just like, man, he really has no range, at least not in this movie. His character's boring. You don't really care. And plus, this movie was marred by the fact the marketing team decided to show a big reveal within the trailers of the movie and just took all the suspense out. And it's really bad when the most exciting thing about this production was something that happened on set that we only have audio for. That famous Christian Bale blow up that was recorded of him just cursing out a crew member. It's like, that was the most exciting thing. And unfortunately, the best part, you can't really even say it's really the best part. It's just like, okay, they brought Arnold in there again, but it's not Arnold. It's a double with a young Arnold's face superimposed over him. And also the funny thing is that, like, the most interesting part of this movie was what they didn't film or reshot, was the idea of that Sam Worthington's character, who turns out to be a cyborg. I don't care if you haven't seen it, it's not really even worth it, so there you go. Christian Bale, John Connor, was supposed to die, and they were supposed to graft his face onto Sam Worthington, and that would have been the end. It's like, that would have been interesting, but again, too little, too late, and in this case, not at all. And on that note, Terminator Salvation gets a resounding,
I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody.
And last, and certainly least, is Terminator Genesis.
You serious?
This film is the epitome of corporate just trying to make money off a name and not really caring about the story. But the messed up part is that the components of this movie, the director, some of the actors, like they could have been good if they had a better script. You have Alan Taylor, who, if you ask me, is one of the best directors on Game of Thrones. And he even brought over Emilia Clarke, who plays Daenerys on Game of Thrones, to play Sarah Connor. And of course we have Arnold back as now an older version of Terminator, which is, it has an interesting concept with that. It's like, alright, cool, that's it. And now they have Jai Courtney as Kyle Reese. What? No offense to him, but it's just like, he does not fit Kyle Reese. He does not fit a person that has come from a dystopian future. He's too big. He looked like he just got out of the UFC gym like 2 minutes ago. It doesn't make sense for him to be that big, possibly eating rats or something. And that's just one of the many problems with this film. I mean, I do like the idea of, okay, this is a alternate version where Arnold's old Terminator was sent back to the 70s and saved Sarah Connor as a kid. So it's really altering the timeline. I'm like, alright, that's different, that's unique. So it's an alternate take on the 1984 classic. And they recreate some of the major things that happened in the first one, particularly in the first like 10 minutes. Kyle Reese going back, getting the shoes, getting the jacket, so on and so forth. But of course everything changes once he meets up with Sarah Connor, who's completely different from what she is. And Emilia Clarke does her best Linda Hamilton impression from Terminator 2. And you know damn well Arnold owns this character, so he is literally the best thing of this movie. But everything else is crap. I figured this movie was going to take place in 1984, the whole movie, but for some stupid reason, they decided to time travel forward to present day. And not only that, but they transport to like a day, 24 hours from when the new version of Judgment Day is happening in 2018.
Snap now.
What's the matter, Cletus? Hey, got your tongue? Step on the nerve, Cletus? Huh? I get you, gotcha.
Wow, that's so genius there. And everything by the end, you're just like, why do we even do this? You know, they changed, like, now it's John Connor is the villain somehow, and it doesn't make any damn sense. It's just like, really? You tried and failed. And they had the nerve to try to set up a new trilogy, which makes no sense. I mean, when you start thinking about it, you feel like...
It was almost like I had to sort of fool my mind into believing that it wasn't retarded.
Yeah,
right?
You was farting in bathtubs and laughing your ass off.
Tricky.
It's high science, man. It's art form.
I feel like I'm dumb for not figuring out how the hell this is going to work. But, you know, by that time, I'm just like, you know what? I'm done. On that note, Terminator Genesis gets... Oh yeah, it earned that in spades, man. Look, all these three movies are quintessential examples of when a big company just wants to take over property and doesn't understand what the hell it is. It make no sense whatsoever, and each and every one has been worse. But hey, YouTubers, Cinephiles will always have the first two. They're amazing, they're immaculate classics, and you should definitely check those two out. And maybe leave these three for whatever, maybe a drinking game or something like that, but I suggest that with caution. Anyway, YouTubers and Cinephiles, what did you think about these Terminator movies? Did you like them? Do you think they're just unnecessary? What's going to happen? Do you think they should continue? I personally don't. But anyway, YouTubers and Cinephiles, take care. If for now, YouTubers and Cinephiles, if you like the content and you want to comment, like, share amongst your friends, but do me a favor and look below the video and click that subscribe button and hit that bell so you can get more amazing content like you just witnessed today. Y'all take care, YouTubers and Cinephiles.